to restart your video, and I don't know why, but as I was like, as I was like in between the two videos, like the last one and this one, I got nervous, and a car drove by like the front of my house, and just putting it in the frame of the messages I got for your pile in meditation. I don't know. Let's just jump into it. So today we're answering the question, what makes you so mysterious, or why do others find you so mysterious? I meditated, got plenty of messages there to go over, and also we'll do some tarot, and I think it's oracle, but it may just be more tarot. But we have cards and messages for meditation. So jumping into the downloads that I got, I received the image of red flowers in like a bush, and then it was like in the shape of a vine, and behind it I could see a white trellis. And as this image expanded in my mind, the trellis just kept getting like bigger and longer and it was on or against a 2-story white home. And I'm just gonna, I guess, like preface, I'm not really sure how to say that, but I think it's preface your guys' pile with like a warning that it has like some creepy vibes to it. Not that you give off creepy vibes, but people in like pertinence to you. I don't know. Okay, I don't know why there's a lot of words coming through that are not usual to my vocabulary, and I'm not even sure if I'm using them right. But people like in relation to you were giving off like a really creepy vibe. But so another thing that came through was just 80s films in general, and like an 80s aesthetic. Like I'm getting like puffy, like over like sweater jackets that like button up, but like in a puffy way. And like I also heard the words voyeur and crush, and when I heard voyeur, I was getting it like more like people in relation to you, and I was hearing it as a word, but also I kept being reminded of this documentary that was called Voyeur. And with the crush word, there's actually a film called Crush that was coming through for your pile, and also it was just coming through as a word. I was also getting like this neighbor vibe come through, like someone in the vicinity of like being a neighbor to you was like appearing. And I heard girl or boy next door, like this is like your energy. I also saw a roller rink, and in like regards to your image, fluffy curly shoulder length hair, and mom jeans that were like mom jeans in the way that they were light wash, high-waisted, and they had a tapered fit. I was getting the image of a van and someone being dropped off, like it was coming through as a house, but just someone being dropped off, and I was getting like you're the energy that's being dropped off. And I heard babysitter and babysitter's club. And also I got in relation to you that something about you was inaccessible, and I didn't, I'm debating on whether or not to include this. Okay, I'm just gonna not include that. I'm just being guided not to include that. There was some really creepy stuff that came through, I'll just say that. Okay, and people may try to use like substances as a way to loosen your inhibitions. That's coming through. People with like more experience, like more knowledge. The way that you express yourself, your youth, I heard, and also the way that you live your life, this is something that makes you so mysterious. Like people like to watch you, and also I got that you're unexpectedly calm. People like you, and whatever this means, it was coming through in multiple ways, but people like you in some way are expected to be like more chaotic, but you are more peaceful, mindful, and truly unbothered by like the outside world. And this drives a deep fascination in others. I got the image in relation to like you and your energy, Alice in Wonderland, the whole movie, just you being Alice, and then a girl or boy like not necessarily lost in daydream, but lost in another world reading a book. And I heard the word limerence, and that's another word I'm not totally sure what that means, although I think it's daydreaming. But your pal, I don't know if I wrote down all the words. That was just coming through earlier while talking, the words that I wasn't familiar with totally. But in regards to these images, though, it's like you're mysterious in how you're in your own world. And you're like a fantasy, and it makes people fantasize about you. And people like to do this. It's like, I just got the image of, in my mind's eye, those infinity mirrors. It's like your energy creates those infinity mirrors, and I just heard rabbit hole sensation. Like, I'm getting the image of a caterpillar crawling. I'm not totally sure how that's coming through in relation to this. But it's like what people are like admiring about, or what captivates you about people, like how you see them in your own world and stuff. It like makes people get lost in their own world about, like, you're the book people are lost in, you're the rabbit hole people are lost in, and like in the way that they admire you like interacting with you makes people become the thing they admire. I also heard too, in regards to people liking to watch you, I heard All Eyes on Me by Tupac, but I wasn't hearing it. I think that song maybe has like a aggressive undertone, like, I know Tupac had beef or something with other rappers. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys. I really need to be more knowledgeable about this, I guess. It was just pre my time, so like, obviously, okay, this is like all a sidetrack though, but I was just gonna say though, I wasn't hearing that in like a aggressive way for your pal. Like, I wasn't hearing it like people have beef with you. I was just hearing like all eyes on you. That's really how it was coming through. But that is all the messages we have for meditation. Let's jump into now our tarot cards. I'm definitely getting, I don't know why this is coming through. I don't know if it's because it's Halloween or what. Oh my gosh. But like, I just got the image of like a protagonist in a horror film. It was very campy, very 80s, and it was like they were running and like looking back at the camera, and it was like at night. They were running through like grass or something, away from something. It's like, I don't know why that was coming through so scary, but people, you're so mysterious because you're like the protagonist. That's the protagonist is generally who people are at the movie for, if not just the plot, but it's like the protagonist is the plot is happening to them, and it's like people are basically here for to figure out what your plot is, I guess. It's interesting though, and like maybe, I don't know why that's coming through so scary. It's like there's actually not any aggressive energy around you that I'm feeling. But maybe like, I don't know. I don't even want to expand on that. I was gonna say maybe because you have plot, it triggers people to plot against you, but honestly, I'm not even feeling that. I feel like maybe you've dealt with that in the past. But you've come to some sort of like truce in regards to that. And asking the question, what makes you so mysterious, pile one, we get the Virtue card. And I was getting some downloads off this. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have this Peace card. I was getting with this Virtue card, though, it's like, you have this, like, Olympian energy. You know, I was getting the image, again, of fluffy, curly hair and, like, the mom jeans and the, like, the balloony, like, cardigan. The white, it's, like, coming through as, like, a white or a creamy cardigan. And, like, white tennis shoes. And, you were, like, bouncing downstairs in like a very healthy way. It's like, I don't know, something about your energy is like very, like, I wanted to say brisk, but it's like breezy. You have like, Olympian is like very, and even that, like, that has like an 80s quality to it. The mail just came in through the mail slot on my door it's a mail slot instead of a mailbox. I feel like that's kind of 80s. I'm hearing, you've got mail. And I just got the images of, or the image of, like, corporate, early tech-based corporate America, where it was, like, they were sending email and stuff. And I was actually hearing Twin Towers, too, but I'm not sure what that's related to here. Definitely, I want to say, though, like, your innocence, it's interesting because underneath peace is science. You do seem like a great mind. I just heard a great body and a great mind. It's like, I can tell that there's an intelligence to you because there's an intelligence to, like, your body form. If that makes sense. But I was getting, it's like, I was hearing your innocence, your purity, and your peace is something that makes you so mysterious. And I just heard demure. And, you know, I'm not on TikTok, and I wasn't, like, in on that trend, so I'm not totally aware of all the in and outs of that, like, what was popular about that. But in looking up that word, it's like, you know, it's totally reminding me of any love interest, any, like, female love interest of, like, an 80s film where they're, like, soft, gentle, soft-spoken. I just heard, like, obedient. But I also just heard, like, powerhouse. It's, like, I just heard, like, untamable. People, even though you're, like, this soft thing, it makes people want to tame you, and then something about you is untamable, too. So there's, like, a natural, like, resistance that you give off, I'm getting, that, like, charges people. Like a battery. I'm getting too, like, with this origami on this peace card, it's like people feel like they would have to bend and fold in all these different ways to try and get access to you for some reason. I'm getting the image of, like, a knight in shining armor outside of a tower at night, like, under moonlight, and, like, scenes in 80s movies where, like, that one scene where the boy's holding up the radio outside of the window to, like, profess his love. You know, I feel like people have to, I don't know why, but I'm getting the sensation of people having to, like, do work to build peace with you. And it's almost like they come in with immediate arms, and I'm getting the image of like a fencing battle. And it's like, for some reason, it's not until after they can't squander you, they give you respect. But it's like, you were due respect, obviously. Well, I don't know. I would say from the beginning, I would give someone respect from the beginning, and then, you know, if they change my mind. But I don't not give people respect out of the gate. Okay, my little, like, effects light shut off there. I don't know if it's actually because I need to do something on my laptop. But we're just going to leave that off. And actually, I feel like that's symbolic. And I was going to say, you know, just tying that into the reading, I feel like you've had a lot of good times, and people see you as, like, this, I'm hearing good time girl, good time boy. And, like, when people think of you, they think of a smile and a laugh and, like, sunny, bright eyes and rosy cheeks, I'm hearing. So they don't hear, they don't see, they don't, like, lay witness to or bear witness to, like, the dark days that you've had. And I'm getting like you have had at least a dark day, if not a couple or a few or many even. 808 on my timer as I say that. You know, I'm getting like the movie Heathers. Like, you may have actually had like a really brutal, like, I'm hearing onslaught. But I'm hearing that you found peace, like, through all that. Like, you've learned how to lean on yourself, and you've mastered the mind too, I heard. Okay. And you have very, like, still waters within, and that's just coming through as a way to say, like, you've really become accustomed to the nature and how to balance, like, how to keep it in balance, your feminine energy. I'm getting now to your masculine energy too, because, something I was going to say about the dark days that you faced earlier, it slipped away from me for a second, is, you know, I was getting to, with your dark days, you've had a lot of, like, fear. You faced a lot of fearful moments. Like, I was getting the image, now I'm getting the image of someone, like, looking through their blinds in fear, with their back against the door in fear. Like, it's all these, like, fear positions, and, like, I'm getting, like, you may have been fearful for an extended period of time and for different reasons. But it's made you really strong, and you have, like, an equilibrium now to the, like, the air and energy about you. And on this virtue card here, it has, like, the sun symbol, and I'm hearing ego for that. And this star in the background is kind of reminding me of, like, North Star. You know, I'm hearing, like, you have a very serious, like, track and purpose and destiny. I'm getting the image of someone that's, like, wakes up, has a serious morning routine, goes to school, has after school sports, studies, has a bedtime routine, makes time for friends, makes time for family, makes time for their self still, and is on their way to college. And, like, it's like a track, you know. It doesn't have to be those literal things. It's just, you seem like very like, I'm hearing, like, organized, but also, like, in depth, involved in something, in the mechanics of something. And it's like, what I was gonna say here with the sun and Aries here is, it's like, it's reminding me just confirmation in this flower here. Okay, you're very passionate about, like, yourself and your life. Okay, and I'm hearing, like, self-involved and self-absorbed, but it's in, like, an endearing way. Okay, 11:22 on my timer. You're, like, essentially, you know, blooming, and you love to bloom. Like, both of your cards here feature you know, the flower right there, and then the blue flower right there. You may have had, like, a lot of people around you that were, like, crabby or protective of just you and your life. They're just coming through. But I'm hearing, like, you're, like, the golden child. Okay, wait, I have one more deck I wanted to pull from. 12:12 on my timer as I say this, but I was just shuffling for, like, our last cards here, and I was getting the image of someone, like, leering or peering. I was hearing leering, but, like, gazing over a video store, like, shelf, and, like, walking with your energy as you unknowingly, like, scanned for a movie. Lots of 80s references, and lots of, like, voyeurism, lurking, creeping, like the vine was creeping, and the energy of the, like, I just heard purveyors, but I'm not sure what that word means. If I didn't say this earlier, the movie Heathers was coming through too, and in asking what makes you so mysterious, we get chaos, an imposter, and then on the bottom of the deck, gossip. But also, after gossip, laughter, great news, frustrated. Okay, it's like, you definitely have had a lot of, like, I'm hearing a whirlwind, a SHIT storm of, like, just chaos, literally. But you've survived it. I'm getting the image of the, like, the protagonist of that movie, Heathers, walking out at the end, like, smoking a cigarette, like, her hair's burnt, and she has, like, her face is burnt. But she survived it all, and I think destroyed, like, all the frenemies in that movie. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. With this imposter card, it's making me think, you know, I'm getting, and especially with this gossip card, the gossip card, I'm getting, like, hands covered. I'm getting the image of hands covered, covering mouths, in, like, a very, I don't know why, it's like 80s and high school imagery is really coming through on your pile, but, and, like, I just heard high school romance, high school sweethearts, but it's like, I was getting, people want to, like, rip your sweetness off you to get you to react in a way. It's like, people don't want to believe for some reason that you are the kind of person that you portray. And they want you to react poorly, so they, like, treat you poorly. Or they also want you to engage in, like, poor behavior as a way to try and prove to themselves and others, like, your image isn't what it is. But you're not an imposter. And I was getting, like, the image of, you know, they're viewing it as, like, they're gonna pull the wool off you, and then it's like a sheep or it's like a wolf inside, but they find a sheep. They find a sheep instead. So, with this laughter, great news, and frustrated, though, I was actually getting, like, your energy is the one laughing, but it's, like, laughing on the inside. I just heard laughing on the inside, crying on the outside. I think there's a Carol Bernadette song. I'm not sure if that's who sings it, but it's on the end of the Effing World show. I think it's featured regularly on that. it's like you have like a redemption story or a redemption arc, and I just heard a redemption reveal. Okay, and it frustrates people to the core to like, I don't know why it's coming through exactly like this, but I just heard having to idolize your truth. It's like you're someone worthy of like idolization, and it frustrates people that like you're the protagonist for some reason. I'm not sure why that's coming through, but those are negative energies, though, so don't focus on them. I think you've learned that, you know, they're not just negative. These are unfriendly figures. Okay, I'm getting the image of like, and I'm getting the image of just a vague like 80s movie where it's like the protagonist, the girl who's been through some things, she's like having to push someone out of her house or push someone out of her door, push someone out of her room. It's like she's sick of this person or sick of this sort of behavior. She's sick of being sabotaged just because of other people's curiosity or because of their amusement or because of their envy. You're in a stage now where you're welcoming empathy. Okay? You're not seeking power or desperate figures, though. You're apathetic towards those things. You're seeking actually honesty and apology through action. You want positivity. You want people who are checked into reality and have a realistic, why was that coming through in a strange way? Am I like there was like a different word that was like forming in my head there. I don't know how to describe that. If people don't have a realistic grasp though on their heart and how to express it, and also their heart aligning with reality, it's like, you know, it's coming through as goodbye here. You're future oriented, and you know, I could keep going on and on. We're gonna end let me see one more message though for you guys. You're mysterious in the way that you are reconnecting with community. I'm hearing it's your last laugh. 1919 on my timer as I say that. Okay, pile one, we're gonna leave your reading off there for today. I hope that was helpful. If it was, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And oh yeah, your thoughts in the comments below. If you're a little shy or you don't know what to say, leave a house emoji or like a rose emoji or a car emoji. Thank you guys for being here, for watching, and for listening. I will see you on the next one. Bye for now. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile 2. I'm just gonna let you know before we even get into it, my notes may be a little messy, okay? Because your pile for some reason ended up being like the first pile I got downloads for, even though you're the second pile. So your downloads were coming through first, and also they were coming through very plentiful, so I was running out of space as I was taking notes, and I was drawing lines to other spaces, and yeah, so if it gets a little chaotic, I apologize about that in advance. But so today we're answering the question, what makes you so mysterious, or why do others find you so mysterious? And we have messages from meditation, so downloads, and we will also pull some tarot cards. So let's just jump into it. Starting off with our downloads. So I told you that you were the first pile to get downloads, and I heard too, you're the most mysterious, and I also heard deep sea fisherman and prize catch into alluring. Okay, and I heard underwater and finding Nemo. There's something about you that is hard to find, maybe, or it seems you're on a long personal journey that's hard for others to accompany you, yes, but it's also hard for them to keep tabs on you. As I was coming into your reading too, I got the energy of like an eerie silence. Like I just had a flash flood come through my area, and it's like the storm had stopped for a second. So it's like there's this energy of like an eerie silence, but like where you're waiting on something to happen, or you're like waiting for something or someone. Something scary though. You have the energy though of a deep sea creature. Okay, and you embody this energy, and people in regards to you embody the energy of humans in awe at those creatures. Okay, like people don't know what to think in regards to you, though they're captivated, mesmerized, and would love to attain you or catch you for their self. Something about you is very special. Okay, and I got the image of an anglerfish. You are the light, but you feel like you're like just the anglerfish detached from the light, though you are utilizing it for survival. But like breathing and eating, you never notice it or notice how it sets you apart. You are though like I got the image of a treasure chest that was like fully open. And I also heard in regards to you buried deep, but that this is where you function. You're hard to perceive, though it's not exactly that you're hard to perceive per se. It's though it's that it's hard for people to have access to perceive you. I was getting the image when I was getting this download of like again the deep sea creature, and it's like in the right circumstances people are able to see you perfectly, even 353 on my timer as I say that. But it's like those circumstances are very like rare to come by. It's like people have to have a lot of equipment to get to the point to where they can gain access to you. Okay, like it takes a lot, it seems like, so maybe that's irrelevant, you know, maybe it just seems like it takes a lot. Maybe people make mountains out of like the molehills it would take for them to like gain access to you. But it's like it seems like it would take a lot to do deep sea fishing and a lot of special equipment. And that's what it's coming through as like in regards to what it's like to get access to you and your energy. Okay, so that's everything we have from our meditation for your pile. Let's jump into tarot now, pile 2, and see what makes you so mysterious. I was hearing just then root chakra. And I was seeing like hips like spiraling or swiveling. 511 on my timer. And I keep hearing sacral, 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 like a chant. And 2, I just got the image of a mermaid. Like there's something very alluring about you and like wistful, like you know how the mermaid tail it like wisped to an end, wisp. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that clear enough. WISP. And like how a ghost tail wisp to an end. It's like there's something wispy and ethereal and alluring, and like it lures you in about your energy. And like lure is reminding me of a fisherman's like lure. You may have like, I'm hearing like I just heard like fisherman's tale and lore. You may have like a story to tell about you, okay, and that makes you really mysterious. Like you may have a story to tell. I'm getting the image of someone that's like sitting at a I'm hearing like a shack or a shanty, though I don't know what that means, but it's like a salt torn bar that's close to shore, and it's like a little shack basically, and it's just where people go to have drinks. And I got the image of like an older person that's been through, like, they've weathered a storm, they've been through, like, they have a tale to tell, and it's like a mighty one that has beast in it, and like those beasts are slain. And I got the image of them sitting at the bar alone, like kind of like not traumatized, but you could say that, I guess. Like they're not talking, or like they're not being social and stuff. But if they were to tell their story though, the whole bar would gather around. I was getting to Ireland, sea songs, Irish cops, and sea songs, like songs you'd sing, like sailors would sing at sea, and like amongst themselves at like a bar, maybe, like in like an old-timey sense, not in like a military sense, although if that's relating. I was getting more in like a pirate sense though. And let's see, I feel like something else was coming through. And oh yeah, the show Workaholics. Those may be like confirmations for you. What was specifically coming through was this song they're singing at a funeral that they're mistakenly at. They sing, "When Irish cops arrest ya, you better run and hide." It's a song that they're making up on the spot to like cover for the fact that they're not supposed to be at this funeral. Maybe that's relevant. It's interesting because bottom of the deck energy, we have the moon. Like, can we have a more mysterious card? I'm getting a lot of like moonlight and nighttime imagery with you. And something feels like backwards, or I just heard underground. But I was trying to think of, I think it's called the Upside Down on Stranger Things. It's definitely coming to my attention how like your world feels like a separate world from those who are like observing you. Like, in how like you're the deep sea, and then creature, and then the fisherman is like a human on earth. And like air and water are two separate spheres of existence. 222 on my timer has to say this. So it's like maybe people who feel like your life and your world is totally alien to them. This is one reason why you're so mysterious. I just heard Fishbowl though, and High Priestess is on the bottom of the deck. Okay, and also I heard No David, which is an animated children's book, or not, I don't know if animated is the right word. It's like a children's book that's like, it has cartoons. I don't know if animated is like, strictly for television, but, I was getting like, you're incredibly psychic, okay? This is something that makes you super mysterious. Like, people can see this in your eyes that you're like, they can see it in your eyes that you're perceiving them. And I like all this imagery down here. Like, it's reminding me of a hibiscus flower, not a hibiscus. It's like the Hawaii flowers that's like white and yellow, and grapes. And this is reminding me of like a parakeet. It's reminding me of Hawaii a lot and tropical imagery. Okay, we're back, pile 2, and I had someone stop by and visit me during lunch. And so I forget exactly what I was saying just a moment ago, because it's been longer than a moment ago. But, and we have our light back on now. But before I left for lunch, I pulled the Lust and Fortune cards. For sure, the nails on this lion figure are sticking out to me, and they're like orange or red, and I got the image, you know, of them going in motion, like nails digging in. And this thing here, it's like, it reminds me of the uvula, and I guess like it's really coming through. For some reason, something about your sexuality makes you mysterious. It's reminding me like how seduction essentially works off of, I was gonna say a confusion, but that's not like the mysticism. Okay, where was I going with that? It's like seduction works off of, it works because of the story that you're like telling. I forget why I was saying that though. Oh my gosh, I just heard you have the whole world seduced. It came to me though that like seduction works off the story you're telling, right? So it's like how that's playing into your mysteries. It's like the story you're telling is the mystery. Okay? It's like it reminded me of people that say like she or he keeps the mystery alive. And that's why the romance isn't dead. I'm getting to, it's like your passions are things that people are controlled or moved by. I'm seeing here too, like on this card, the High Priestess card, it's like you have an intricate web that you're weaving. That's something that makes you very mysterious. Like people can't see, I'm just hearing the intricacies of what it is that you're weaving. And I'm getting like, there's something about what you're weaving, it's giving off the air of like it benefiting everybody. Bringing light to whatever it is that you work with. Like you bring light to what you work with. And I just feel inclined to say for some reason, I don't usually feel inclined to say this, but it's not just light like you lift up the mood, because I'm getting to like it's more so, and more specifically, you illuminate like everything, and what you do illuminates everything. So that's not always going to put people in a good mood. For example, like that might actually put people in a bad mood. We have coming through for you. I love this coming through after we discussed your energy as like a treasure chest. Let me make sure that was you, pal, too. Okay, it was. My apologies on that. You know, you're stabilizing, I'm getting. You're mysterious because of, right now, you're stabilizing, like, your, whatever is, like, your path and purpose. You have, like, self-focus and luck energy surrounding at this moment. 448 on my timer as I say this. It's like the universe is holding you like you're like it's blessing right now. But I love these 505 on my timer. Like you're going through changes right now in regards to your foundations as well. And it's also in regards to your path and purpose. And something about this is making you mysterious right now to others. It's someone that you talk to. Okay, it's someone that we have victory and science coming out. 6 of Wands, 6 of Swords. So I'm getting like this was like, I'm just hearing like a devilish scenario that you've turned around on its head, on its horns, and now it's a healthy scenario. I just heard it's as healthy as you can make it. I just heard 2, and so I'm just going to share it. 10 may be a significant number to you. But I just heard in some couldn't make it. It's like some relationships couldn't be mended after everything was said and done. But I love these cards. The Magician with all these options, like, and all these tools at their disposal, and everything's gold. And then 4 of Cups, Luxury, with your treasure chest energy. And I'm noticing too how the lotus flower here, it's like raining down on the cups, okay? Like, your foundation is gonna be luxury. And it's also gonna be generational, the foundation that you set. But I noticed like this lotus flower was raining down on the cups, and it's also like a little crescent moon, or maybe it's a waning moon, but it's like I'm just hearing like you grew through a dark night, and also the odds were against you. But I'm also hearing too, like, you're flying and soaring above the odds. 757 on my timer as I say this. So one of the reasons why you are definitely mysterious, pal, too, is because you're like, I just heard you're miraculous. Like, people think you're a miracle, a living miracle, literally. With these 3 cards coming out, I'm getting like, I'm feeling like you had a false twin flame narrative play out, or like something like really just rocked your root chakra, I'm hearing. And you did a lot of root chakra work, and basically people are expecting you to, like, and maybe it's the Emperor, whatever this Emperor represents in the situation for you, expected you to like wallow in, I'm just hearing the mistakes that were made. But you're the Magician, and I'm hearing too, you're the Empress. And I'm noticing like on this card, like, this kind of looks like a uterus, I guess, and like the fallopian tube system. Like, it's kind of reminding me of that. It's like you actually use this to create like new circumstances for yourself, I'm hearing. Okay, shine light on a dark day, but it ended up being like a perpetual light, like the fire that could never be put out. And I'm hearing like you're building a city basically for yourself, and there's like a fire that will never be put out, and it's like the heart of your city, and it's fueled by like passion and courage. It's like the city of who you are. That's interesting. It's like every facet of yourself is fully expressed now. There's a shop open for every part of yourself. There's nothing's closed or hidden, and there's no like dark seedy alleyways, or I'm trying to think of speakeasies. Nothing's like underground or unaccepted. I just heard too the song off Despicable Me that's like I'm having a bad day, and I was getting the impression from everything that was coming in at that time that maybe people perceive you based off looks to be a villain, but if they know like everything that you're doing they would know you're not one. So, and I heard like too, like there's something like about the way that you dress that makes you mysterious, and potentially you dress in like an emo way, and if not like a dark way, then maybe like a sensual way, you know, a way that like stirs the senses. I just heard Dead Poets Society. I think that's a movie. I'm not sure. It might be a music album. I'm not sure about that. But, you know, people think that you're like a dark romantic. And our final message for you, pile 2, is that you're mysterious because of your capacity to care for others. It is honestly a gift of yours that people envy. Okay, and if they were honest with you, they would need to apologize. I'm getting like they're obligated to see you in a certain way, but they deny seeing you in that way. So for that reason, an apology is due. But 1212 on my timer has to say this: you are a gift to those in your life. Pile 2, we're going to leave your message off there for today. If that was helpful or it resonated at all, don't forget to leave a like and your thoughts in the comments below. If you're a little shy or you don't know what to say, leave a crescent moon, diamond, or sparkles emoji in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe so I can see you on the next one. Bye for now. Hello, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading where we will be answering the question, what do people find so mysterious about you, or what makes you so mysterious? I have messages for meditation, and 2, we will pull some tarot cards. So jumping right into the downloads, I got for you, Pile 3, the image of a pine or fir tree forest. Something about you is soft, but people are scared to enter the depths of you. People are scared of your shadows. And when it comes to your features, I got that they are concise, captivating, and penetrating. I also got, while I was doing my meditation for your pile, a flash flood warning, like emergency alert came through on my phone at 11:14. And I heard too some geographical locations, some cities, countries. I heard Canada, and I also heard Brisbane, though when I looked it up, Google kept trying to suggest me Brisbane, but I was certain I heard Brisbane. And I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but there's a place in Croatia with the spelling that I was thinking of. And when you look at this place, this house is photographed like commonly at this location, and it's on an island with very similar trees to what I was imagining. And it's interesting because this image often looks like it's a glacier. I don't know if it is. And I heard to Bristol. I got the image of a ravenous wolf, and it's in your forest, or the forest of you, and people are scared of being attacked by you in some regard, is what I was getting by that. And when I was writing that down, I got intellectually, at least, or intellectually for 1. I got the image of someone picking clovers and unknowingly finding themselves deeper within your forest than they had wished, and finding themselves scared because of it. And so I was taking this like, you have something that entices others in a way that they drop their guard, and they're mesmerized, and they become scared through this process. When I looked at Bristol too, I was thinking one photo made me think of a maze, and I was hearing labyrinth and catacombs, and catacombs of Paris. And I channeled the movie for you, An American Werewolf in Paris. Okay, you transform in mysterious ways, and people are frightened by your transformations. Okay, whenever I was writing down that particular download is when I got the flash flood warning. But that is everything that we got from our meditation. So let's jump into what the cards have to say. I wanted to say 333 on my timer as I say this, that you have a very dark aura, but that's not exactly what I mean, because I'm not saying that in the way that I feel like you've accumulated like a lot of dark energy by doing bad things. But I feel like actually what I'm trying to explain is that your energy is very like heavy and dense. And it's just coming out right away as we get into your reading, though, that people envy you for some reason. 404 on my timer as they say that. And maybe it's because you triggered them to see things within themselves that they're lacking. 2, I'm getting people may try to, how is this coming through? It's like it's not that they're trying to get a response from you. It's like somehow you're not there in the way that people are like thinking in their heads. They may not like be demanding that way out of you, but it causes like a low vibration feeling in them. 453, and I had a card of success before I started shuffling on the bottom of the deck there. You know, I'm thinking like it was just coming to me how like I feel like, sorry, that maybe this isn't so how you're mysterious, but maybe it's mysterious in your life right now. But it is coming through the message. But anyways, it's like the way that you're stabilizing yourself and the changes that you've made to mind, body, and spirit, I'm hearing. But really just like how you've unified yourself. So whatever you've like shifted around in your life so that you're living like an honest life, whatever that looks like for you. You like worked magic, and people are like, or someone in particular at least, is really feeling awful about it. Like honestly, like my chest feels really tight, and they might be feeling even angry or envious, yes, but it's like angry or something. I'm getting the energy of someone that like wants to whip you into shape, but like whipping you into shape is like their idea of whipping you into shape is like bending you until you break to fit their ideas of what control looks like. So that's not reality, and it's like you're mysterious in how you're like breaking the rules right now of those who want to control you. I keep hearing cage you. And ooh. And when that happened, I heard too, those who want to shut the lights off. It's like there's something, you know, you're mysterious because of what you know, and I'm hearing you're mysterious because of what you're capable of and like what you contain. What you contain is what you know, and also like your capacity. We have these 2 cards making an appearance, which I feel like is so awesome for like your narrative so far. So 2 of Wands, and the keyword on this card is Dominion, and then we also have Prince of Wands. You know, this Prince of Wands card was making me think of like a rising phoenix from the ashes. And this Dominion card was reminding me of how we've talked about how you're kind of like, you know, I didn't share this earlier because it was, I mean, it was an unpleasant image, but I got the image of someone who wants, you know, it's like if you were a puppy, they wish, or if you were a dog, it's like these figures that we were talking about earlier wish you were a puppy so that they could like grab you by your nape more easily and like slam you into a cage and get you to like be fearful of them, but also more compliant. And you know, I guess people are wishing like you were smaller or younger or something so that you would be more easily made fearful and more easily made compliant, more easily obedient, more less questioning, more, I just heard like shaking and unknowing. Like someone almost needs you to be fearful for some reason. But I'm hearing like you have taken dominion over your life. Yes, you've uncaged yourself, I'm getting. But I'm also getting with this card here, I was hearing like you've also gained dominion or like control over your sexuality is coming through. And your beauty and like, I just heard like debutante. It's like you making your appearance to the world. There's a couple of things coming through these cards for me here, and it's like you have gladiator energy, first of all. And then this is a little graphic, but it's like people saw you as like a little pop rock, you know, and they're like tissue paper around the little rocks, and like, this is like, sorry to say, but these figures thought that they were gonna just like wear out the tissue paper and like into oblivion, and like not a peep was gonna be had, and it was just tissue paper that was gonna be forgotten about. But like then you were like a firecracker, and one that they like accidentally lit off. And I'm hearing like you were the sort of firework that like goes off with a bang and a big boom and goes into the air and shoots off for like the whole city to see. You're the kind that people like gather around to see, drive hours to see. You know, like a festival is had for you. I'm hearing too, there's like some sort of like, I'm just hearing pageantry. I don't know if this is in relation to like your debutante energy, and like there's a sense of pageantry to be had with like how you're putting more of an effort, it seems like right now, in yourself. Like you have the capacity to do that. Or if there's a, is gallantry a word? I was just hearing galloping with gallantry. But I was feeling like, you know, there's almost like this feeling of pageantry, like being put on by those who wore a mask in the past in your life. But you've illuminated like everything, and like you can't unsee what you've seen. That's the energy that's coming through on this. Okay, let me see though, what else? Why are you mysterious, pile 3? I was gonna say, you know, this card as I was setting it down, you know, you're mysterious, and people find you mysterious because of how you, like, the trails that you're blazing. And I just heard like unexpected, but as I shuffled there, and what we have on the bottom of the deck, okay, 1222 on my timer as I say this, is Knight of Wands. And look at this, the imagery on this card. It's like very high on the trailblazing vibe. You know, it looks like they're literally being pulled into like the future, like the direction they're going. You may have moments, actually, pile 3, where like you feel like you're being pulled into the past, but you're paving a way forward. That's a continuous like flow of yours. So I guess Spirit's just wanting you to say like, don't be too hard on yourself, and remember to take breaks and be gentle and nourishing with yourself. And if you haven't recently or any time, then to give yourself a hug and drink water, like, and just take a breath. And be more mindful of like all that you've come from. And I think it'll help you have some like more grace for where you are going. and like know that your stream can flow more easily. It doesn't have to be like a rush of water, you know, carving rock. You can like even trickle one at the times you need. But it's like, you know, at times you may feel discouraged because you feel like the past is pulling you back to it and you don't want to go back to the past. But just know, like, you are a butterfly in your butterfly era. You are in like your Venusian era. Okay, you're in like your purity, your innocence era. The era where you are a fully realized self. And the world also is catching up. If it hasn't already, it's catching up on recognizing you in the same way. And, you know, this is a message for you to remember, like, the valor that you have in those moments where you feel discouraged. Because I think, like, you forget all... I'm hearing, like, all of why you do it, and why you hold everything that you do. I'm getting to that because of all that you face, all that you have faced, and then all that you do still, you may feel like apathy or some amount of numbing or numbness from like this like perpetual effort of yours that you have to do. And also just like all that you've overcame. And then because that you still have stuff that you're overcoming, it's like you haven't been able to stop really and take a breath from all that you have overcome, which is a lot. 03:06 on my timer as I come back to this. And I was gonna say, like, what makes you so mysterious, Pile 3, is how you've overcome all that you have overcome. Okay, and I was hearing I Fell on Black Days by Soundgarden, but I was hearing I Fell Off Black Days, and I got the image of someone that was lying flat on the ground, like, standing back up perfectly without moving. 333 on my timer as I say that. And what I shuffled out of my deck before we come back into this is the Strength card. Okay, your strength is what makes you so mysterious to others. Your adaptability, your resilience. Basically, what I'm getting with the moon on the bottom of the deck is people know now not to underestimate you and what you're capable of. I'm just getting the image of someone like low crawling, I think it's called bear crawling, like through mud at night. Okay. Like, that's you. And I just heard SEAL Team 6. Like, people, I'm getting the energy of, like, just people, like, scarily, people getting pits in their stomachs because of the position they find themselves in regards to, like, being a consequence of underestimating you. People have, like, pits in their stomachs from fear. We have coming out for you as a final message, Pile 3, the cards Curious and Future. I'm intrigued and eager to learn more and figure you out. Our paths are destined to align, though their purpose may still be unclear. It's like why you're mysterious too, I was getting from these cards, although those may trigger like specific messages for you as I read them out loud. It's like your path forward is unseen to so many, like they don't know what to expect from you, and that's why you're mysterious. You know, they have no idea what it is that you're building, and because of what you're capable of, it's instilled even fear before in people. They get the sense that it's something like mind-blowing, honestly. So Pile 3, we're gonna leave your message off there for today. If that resonated or you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like and your thoughts in the comments below. If you're a little shy or you don't know what to say, leave a fir tree emoji, a wolf, full moon, or a lotus flower emoji. And don't forget to subscribe so I can see you in the next one. Bye.